Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Big Bingy's Theory. Well, after last week, when I went on my little rant about the hating that was going on for Man of Steel, and to this day it's still going on as of this recording, so, yeah, I've calmed down a bit. It's past me. Still little things piss me off, but that's besides the point. This weekend I checked out two movies. I checked out two very unlikely movies that you would think that I wouldn't see all together in one day. I checked out World War Z and Monsters University. So I'll start things off with World War Z. Now to illustrate, I've never read the book. So I'm going into this as a pure movie experience. I know about the whole controversy. My friend Sam actually really likes the book, and when I showed him the trailer for this movie that was being made, he was not very happy about it. So fans of the book have been really outraged about this. Hell, even the author of the book basically said that this is not a straight adaptation of his work. So it's just it's just something new, but it just has under the same name. But yeah. So and also, I really never had much big anticipation for this movie. Like, the first time I saw it, it just looked like another zombie flick, another apocalyptic zombie flick, except this time it's fast-moving zombies who are all just, they can jump and they can all, like, climb on each other and make a huge freaking ladder on the human zombie ladder on the wall. It's just like, really? Really? I mean, I understand we're trying to get away from the typical zombie thing, but it's not really going to work when it's CGI zombies, but So what did I think of the movie altogether? Not very much. To tell you the truth, I really didn't get that much invested into it. Is it a bad zombie film? Not really. It's not the worst zombie film I've seen, but it is quite easily forgettable. The thing that really just kind of struck me, like, especially towards like the third, like around like the beginning of the third act of the film, I got really bored. It just felt like nothing was really going on during this entire film. Did I hate the characters? No, actually. I really thought I can kind of like the characters, but they just don't give much development in their characters to a point where I'm just like, if they live, they live. If they die, they die. It's like, Well, except for one character in the movie, who had much more I think, in my opinion, more development than Brad Pitt's main character. It's the female soldier that you see, close to the end of the second act of the film and onto the third act. She actually pulls her weight pretty well in this film, and I hope to see that actress more in future movies. But other than that, I really just could not get much involved into it. It just felt like nothing was going on in this entire film. Brad Pitt's character was the typical UN guy that, was the investigator. He's the one that's trying to piece this all together, and his wife is there, and she's there. That's it. Even in the kids, they're there. You don't really get much into a lot of characters into this film, and for me, when I left the theater after watching it, felt like nothing really happened. It felt like it's just like a sort of things happen kind of movie. And the 3D itself was not terrible, but not necessary. They do it like a couple of jump scare moments with the 3D with the zombies, like especially like towards the 30-minute mark, I believe, of the film. There's a part where they're getting ready to go up to a top of a apartment building rooftop, and there's a part where they're just looking around, and then they're getting ready to go up the stairs, and as soon as Brad Pitt's character says, "Okay, it's all clear," then all of a sudden the zombie comes out. It's like all 3D kind of zombie thing. It was like, really we're doing this. It felt like it felt very gimmicky, cheap, and nothing but a cheap jump scare. So, but yeah, that's really all I can say about this film. Very forgettable after you watch it, and it's a rental at best. If you really want to see this movie, If you really want to see this movie, just wait till it comes out on DVD. It's not worth seeing in the big screen. Really, it just feels like you just watched a movie that had nothing on it whatsoever except just CGI zombies. Ooh. So yeah, there's nothing really else I can say about this film. What else? That's about it for World War Z. So yeah, on to Monsters University. Now let this be known, I love Pixar films. I love the Pixar films. Toy Story blew me away as a kid. I used to watch that movie so many times when I was a kid. Used to watch Bug's Life. Used to watch Toy Story 2 as a kid, like so many times. I've watched every single Pixar film in the theater. I just love these guys. And the past couple of movies that I've seen of them, for example, Cars 2, disappointed me greatly. And Brave, well, not a bad movie. It was just okay. I felt kind of like this is not the best Pixar film, but it was just an okay experience. So when I heard that they were making a prequel to Monsters University, I felt that really was kind of like, do we really need a prequel to this? I mean, yeah, well, sure, we get to see how Sully and Mike Wazowski become friends and everything. But I would have liked to have seen the sequel to it because I would like to see, we wanted to see Boo as, maybe a 7-year-old girl or something like that, a little older. And, we all wanted to see Boo, but they wanted to go with the prequel. So, okay, I'll bite. Why not? It's Pixar. I'll give it another shot. So, what did I think about this movie? Well, not the best Pixar film I've seen so far. It's certainly a lot better than Cars 2. And it's a little better than Brave. To go into little plot details, we all know that Mike Wazowski was not a scare, he was a coach in some ways. But this movie was really all about Mike Wazowski. And in the first movie, it was all about Sullivan. It was John Goodman's character. In this movie, it's all about Mike Wazowski, his character and everything. You see him as a little kid and seeing going to Monsters Inc. as a school field trip. And you see him realizing that he wants to become a scarer. This is what he wants to do for his life, and he was training for everything to be this great guy, and or to be this great scarer, and he's practicing and goes to Monsters University. He's going to become a great scarer, everything. But spoiler alert: if you've seen the first movie, we all know he doesn't become a scarer. So for this one, we're just watching him getting his dreams kind of crushed. And that's kind of depressing. Especially for a kid's movie. Now, I know what you're thinking, especially when it comes to Pixar, well, if you've seen Toy Story 3, you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to fucking depressing. This one could be depressing because, well, we've seen Mike Wazowski become this guy who wants to be a scarer. He wants to do this for a living. And to see that kind of getting crushed in here can make you feel really sad for the guy. Because this is what he wanted to do. This is his life. This was his goal and everything. And then we all know that it's not going to happen for him. And seeing him getting sad about it, it makes you really feel for the guy. And not to say that Mike Wazowski was a non-likable character in the first movie, but you still feel for him. You still feel really sorry for him. And that can make you depressed. And when it comes to Disney movies, it's supposed to tell kids hey, everything's gonna be fine if you wish upon a star. No, this movie basically tells you that sometimes your life dream and everything's not gonna come true, and no matter how hard you try, it's still gonna kick you right in the ass and basically tell you, no, you're not good enough. I'm sorry, you're not. And in some ways, it's depressing. But I kind of like that. Not the depressing part, but the lesson in this. What they're telling these kids nowadays is they're telling them that, you know what? You can be okay. And even if your dream goal is not achieved, you can still do great things. You can still do hard work for anything. And I like that. Which is why I like The Princess and the Frog. the last Disney animated film, where the latest Disney princess got, worked hard to get to where she wanted to go. She worked hard. She was working every single hour just to get some money to make her own restaurant. And that's what I like about you're not giving this straight up bullshit to kids about saying like, hey, if you wish upon a star, everything will come true. No, it's Princess and the Frog and Monsters University are telling them that, you know what, life is not all going to be about wishing upon a star. You got to work hard for it. And even if you don't make it, you can still do great things. And I like that. It's not giving kids any bullshit about life. And it may depress them, but, that's the hard fact of life, people. No matter how hard, you have to keep, it's not going to be enough sometimes, but hey, you can still make it in life as long as you keep trying and keep going for it. If you work your ass off, you can do it. So, in some ways, I can see why some people may not like this movie, but I still had a good time with it. It still had that same humor of monsters of the first movie, and it still had that great characters and everything. And this is basically another college movie where they all participate in college games in order to get into a scholarship for scaring and everything. If you've seen any other college movies that deals with games like this, then you know exactly what's going to happen with Monsters University. But all in all, I have to say, this was a good movie to watch. Like I said, much better than Cars 2, little better than Brave. It doesn't beat the first Monsters movie by a long shot, but it does. But it's a good Pixar film that I've seen the last couple of years. So by all means, give it a shot. I mean, you may feel depressed, but hey, that's life, It's actually kind of depressing now. It's just, yeah, but like I said, it doesn't give any kids bullshit, and you know what? That's kind of what we need to do. We need to not give any kids bullshit. So yeah, by all means, go check it out. It's really a good film to watch. So, what does that leave next week? Next week is, oh my god, I can't believe it. I don't know yet, but next week there's 2 movies coming out. One of which is basically Olympus Has Fallen 2, but with Channing Tatum. White House Down, which AKA I called Die Hard 5, which should have been Die Hard 5, because Good Day to Die Hard fucking sucked. And next week, and also the latest Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy comedy film, The Heat. Oh god, it's really gonna be bad. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't made a final decision about those yet, but you'll know it when you see it. So until next time, guys, this is Bingy signing out.